Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Grassroots Racing Show.
Hi, I'm Doug Thompson, and this is my brother, co-host Roger Thompson. You're watching the Grassroots Racing Show and Night at the Track. Roger, we've got a very good racing program coming up. We sent Mike Kraft and the film crew to follow the World Outlaw across Kansas and Missouri. So they're going to be in Dodge City, Belleville, and then they're off to Lakeside. And the World of Outlaw racing is always exciting racing.
It is. There's no doubt about it. Those guys put on a terrific show, whether it's short track, big tracks, whatever it is.
You know, on the show that's coming up on the Night at the Track, you want to be sure and stay tuned, because each week what we consistently hear is, man, that was a good racing program. If you watched last week, we had RPM Speedway, Kenny Schrader and Clint Boyer racing with the locals, and the locals clean clock on them.
That was out at Hayes, wasn't it?
That was out at Hayes. You raced Hayes before.
Yes, I have. That's quite a racetrack.
Yeah, it is. And the field reporter, David Chevarria, went to Hayes for us, and David was telling me that it was standing room only, something like something in that area of 5,000 people at RPM Speedway.
Every time I've been out there, it's been standing room only.
Yeah, and over the years, you know, had a chance to race against a number of the NASCAR guys, and man, it's always a thrill when you get to race against the same guys that you've seen lots of times. And I'm sure it was for the local racers who have maybe didn't have a chance to race against Kenny Schrader before when he was racing in the stop and go Mustang around Missouri and Kansas area, or Clint Boyer when he started in the mini stocks and went to the late models, and then of course went off to NASCAR. So that was fun for them, and then it was really fun to beat them.
Do you remember when Bobby Allison was at Norfolk out there the year he won the championship? He got no respect.
Yeah.
Those were late models. Those were some animals in those days, and Bobby couldn't believe it. But it's not what you did yesterday that counts. It's what you're doing tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I remember Cale Yarborough racing down south at his local track, and very first corner they took him off the track. I mean, just took him right off the track.
Too slow, wasn't he?
Well, I don't know if he was too slow, but they said they're darn sure not going to let Cale Yarborough come down here and win on their track.
That's right.
Well, the same was true at RPM Speedway. They weren't going to let Clint Boyer or Kenny Schrader beat him. But they didn't have to get rough with him to prevent it. They just simply ran good, and like we already know, if you're not running regular and running the cars regular, then it's tougher to jump into a car and beat the guys who's on their home track, who have got their gear combination figured out and who've been racing there all season. We talk about gear combination and racing all season. You know, one of the film interviews that Mike Kraft did for us was up at Belleville, and he interviewed Doug Wolfgang, who's just a legend in the world of outlaw racing.
He's not only a legend in outlaw racing, he's a legend in chassis building and setups. Doug, as you know, you built 2 cars for us, and Glenda told me that he was the mechanic for his son Robbie there. Can't do much better than Doug Wolfgang for your mechanic or setup man, but Doug's cars, when you get the measurements right on the trailing arms and everything, that you just plug it in the car and it is set and ready for action. Very, very impressed with Doug's cars.
Oh, I am too, and I'm impressed with Doug. You know, he's become a friend of ours, and we had him when we shot the movie Can We Talk. Doug came out and did a part in it, and when we did the, we invited Doug out for the an opening here at the museum. It wasn't the grand opening of the museum, but Doug came out for an autograph session, just filled the place, and he really had a good time. And I really like the way he interacts with his son Robbie, because to me, Robbie, you know, was a little kid when we first met him.
It's true.
And, racing motorcycles, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he still is. If he's not in the outlaw car, I think, and he runs the 360 class as well, I'm sure he's probably back with the motorcycles.
And for somebody that's as intense as Doug tends to get, why, I've seen him around with Robbie. He's extremely patient. He's calm, unlike some fathers that go to Little League games and scream and holler at everybody, and they're including their own kid from the stands. And Doug is not like that. He takes him under the wing and explains things to him. And I think Robbie has that same demeanor, not only being a competitor like Doug is, but also being very calm, very patient. And
I'd call it more lackadaisical. You know, if he doesn't want to do something, but I don't think I'll race tonight, Dad, and they go do something else, and that's fine with Doug too.
Yeah, it is. Doug does it because Robbie doesn't have to, and he doesn't push him into it, and that's a good deal. It's time for us to take a break, but stay tuned, because we're going to be right back, and we're going to start in on the World of Outlaw Racing.
That sprint car racing has to offer. 4 wide. This is their salute, their thank you for coming out this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, in return, we want you to stand and make some noise. We want them to hear you over the rumble of the 900 horsepower engines. Dodge City, Kansas, you one of the best. You got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your salute to the World of Outlaw sprint car drivers, and now we'll ask that everybody please remain seated during green flag action so that those behind you have a chance to see. Caution lights going out. Green flag will wave the next time by. The 11K of Craig Kinzer and the 9 of Joey Saldana in row 1. Sammy Swindell and Kerry Madsen in row 2. Steve Kinzer and Chad Kavanaugh in row 3. Craig Delansky and Cody Dara in row 4. Jason Sides and Bill Rose in row number 5. Then Tim Kading and Lucas Wolf, Kevin Swindell and Donnie Schatz, Josh Hodges and Ty Williams, Brian Herbert and Stephen Richardson, Jeff Stassa and Zach Blurton, Josh Bothman and Patrick Stassa, Ray Seaman and Jordan Weaver. Green flag. Into turn 1. Down low, it's Craig Kinzer with the early race lead. Running up high, it's Joey Saldana. 3 wide for second down the backstretch. Madsen, Swindell, and Saldana. Sammy Swindell up over the cushion. Swindell's got a problem. A problem on the number 1 of Sammy Swindell. A flat left rear tire, and the caution flag waves. Sammy Swindell headed in the work area with a flat left rear tire.
Trying to go the right way.
Did not get a lap in the books. It'll be a complete restart for this World of Outlaws main event. They were 3 wide racing for second down the back straightaway. Joey Saldana, Sammy Swindell, and Kerry Madsen did not see if there was some contact there, but the result is a flat left rear tire on the big game tree stands number 1. Swindell, of course, will have to go to the rear of the field, and that'll move Steve Kinzer up to the inside of the second row for the restart. Report over the World of Outlaws radio system. The left rear wheel broke on Sammy Swindell's number 1, so it caused the tire to go flat. The left rear wheel broke on the number 1 of Sammy Swindell. Try the green flag one more time. Craig Kinzer and Joey Saldana in row 1. Now Steve Kinzer and Kerry Madsen in row 2. Craig Delansky and Chad Kavanaugh in row 3. Jason Sides and Cody Dara in row 4. Tim Kading and Bill Rose in row 5. Kevin Swindell and Lucas Wolf in row 6. Josh Hodges and Donnie Schatz in row 7. Green. Down the front stretch, into turn 1. Craig Kinzer, oh, trouble. Chad Kavanaugh sideways into turn 1 and gets collected in a car upside down. Looks like the 33 of Chris, no, correction on that. Not sure what car got into Chad Kavanaugh and got upside down in turn 1. Kavanaugh spun. Almost everyone was able to avoid him. Looks like it might be the 0 of Stephen Richardson. Stephen Richardson, the car upside down in turn number 1. Kinzer and Joey Saldana in row 1. Steve Kinzer and Kerry Madsen in row 2. Craig Delansky and Cody Dara now in row 3. Jason Sides and Bill Rose in row 4. Tim Kading and Lucas Wolf in row 5. Kevin Swindell and Donnie Schatz in row 6. Green. Into turn 1. Joey Saldana, Craig Kinzer racing side by side. They both slide up the banking. Craig Kinzer will grab the early lead. Steve Kinzer now to the inside of Saldana, racing for second. Saldana to the cushion. Steve Kinzer completes the slide job. Steve Kinzer up to second as lap number 1 goes in the books. Craig Kinzer leading it. Steve Kinzer second. Joey Saldana in third. Craig Delansky in fourth. Cody Dara fifth. Kerry Madsen running sixth. Madsen now to the inside of Dara, entering turn 3. Can't make the pass there. Dara to the inside of Craig Delansky out of turn 4. Cody Dara now moving into fourth. Jason Sides to the inside of Kerry Madsen. Sides now takes over the 6th spot. Steve Kinzer trying to work the high side in 3 and 4, the only driver up there in that corner. Now Delansky goes to the top side in 3 and 4. Everybody's fighting for the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. There's not much left there, but there's still a cushion in 3 and 4. Kinzer rides that cushion. Steve Kinzer, that is, as Craig Kinzer leads on the bottom. Craig Kinzer, Steve Kinzer, Joey Saldana, Cody Dara, and Craig Delansky the top 5 with 4 laps down and 26 to go. Jason Sides running 6th, Kerry Madsen 7th, Tim Kading 8th, Bill Rose 9th, Lucas Wolf 10th, Donnie Schatz 11th. Delansky to the high side out of turn 4, gets around Cody Dara. Dara right back to his inside in 1 and 2. Cody Dara completes the pass of Craig Delansky. Delansky had him just for a moment. Traffic about to come into play for race leader Craig Kinzer. His advantage over Steve Kinzer, just about 1 second. Cody Dara, a little contact there with Craig Delansky as Delansky gets by once again. Craig Delansky now up to 4th. Delansky working the high side out of turn 4, trying to track down 3rd place running Joey Saldana. Steve Kinzer up high in 3 and 4, coming after leader Craig Kinzer. Out of turn 4, the battle is for the lead in traffic. Craig Kinzer hanging on, 8 laps down. Craig Kinzer around the outside of the slower car of Jordan Weaver. Steve Kinzer slides high out of turn 2. Craig Kinzer now to the top of the speedway in 3 and 4, runs the middle of the speedway, slides high. Steve Kinzer's going to get a run on Craig down the front stretch. Craig to the bottom, entering turn 1. Steve Kinzer a little higher entry, now tries to get to the bottom on the exit of the corner. Steve Kinzer stalking son Craig down the backstretch in the battle for the lead. We work on lap number 10. Steve Kinzer to the inside of Craig Kinzer, but there's a slower car there down the front straightaway. It's Ty Williams in the 1T. Steve Kinzer may be faster now. In the meantime, Craig Delansky has gotten by Joey Saldana. Delansky is up to 3rd. Still lots of racetrack left in 3 and 4, and not so much in 1 and 2. Craig Kinzer pulling away from Steve Kinzer now once again. "12 laps complete. Craig Kinzer's lead back up to 1 3/4 seconds. Joey Saldana, Cody Dara fighting for position in traffic down the front straightaway. That's the race for 4th. Saldana has a Dara right behind him. Craig Kinzer with a 2-second lead now as we approach the halfway point. Steve Kinzer's really pulled the wing back on the Bass Pro Shops number 11. Craig Kinzer, meanwhile, working traffic in 1 and 2. There's actually a cushion developing once again on the exit of turn 2. Halfway home, 15 laps down, 15 to go. Craig Kinzer leading it. Steve Kinzer in 2nd. Craig Delansky in 3rd. Joey Saldana in 4th. Cody Dara 5th. Jason Sides is 6th. Tim Kading 7th. In 8th, it's Kerry Madsen. Lucas Wolf 9th and Donnie Schatz 10th. Kevin Swindell 11th. Bill Rose in 12th. Sammy Swindell back up to 13th. Josh Hodges in 14th. Patrick Stassa 15th. Sammy Swindell to the inside of Kevin Swindell, racing for the 12th spot out of turn 4. Meanwhile, Donnie Schatz gets by Lucas Wolf. Schatz is up to 9th. '74X of Josh Hodges about to go a lap down to leader Craig Kinzer. Hodges runs in the 14th position. 18 laps down, 12 to go. Still a big lead for Craig Kinzer. 2.3 seconds over his father, Steve. Donnie Schatz continues his march forward now to the outside of Kerry Matson, racing for the 8th spot. Matson to the outside of Tim Kading. Schatz around Matson. Schatz into 8th and coming after Kading for 7th. Craig Kinzer still maintaining a 2.5 second lead. This time by there are 10 laps to go. Craig Kinzer now working toward the number 1 of Sammy Swindell, trying to put Sammy a lap down. Sammy runs in the 12th position. Craig Delansky may be gaining a bit of ground on second place running Steve Kinzer. Kerry Matson and Donnie Schatz racing side by side out of turn 2. Matson gets back by. Matson back into 8th. Delansky definitely gaining ground on Steve Kinzer in the race for the 2nd spot. 8 laps to go. Craig Kinzer still with a 3-second lead in the HendrickCars.com number 11K. Craig Kinzer smoothly out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Tim Kading around the outside of Kerry Matson. That's the battle for the 7th spot. Matson to the outside in turn 2. They'll go side by side down the back straightaway. Give it to Matson. And Kerry Matson gets by Tim Kading to take 7th. Craig Kinzer right on Sammy Swindell's back bumper, trying to put Sammy a lap down. Steve Kinzer is pulled away from Craig Delansky once again. A 2.6 second lead for Craig Kinzer in heavy traffic now out of turn 4. Craig Kinzer to the inside of Sammy Swindell. Craig puts Sammy a lap down entering turn 1. This time by there will be 3 laps to go. Donnie Schatz gets by Tim Kading now. Schatz moving into the 8th spot. Craig Kinzer down the front straightaway. Sammy Swindell has actually gotten back by Craig. And Steve Kinzer has closed that gap now. Craig Kinzer racing with the slower car of Sammy Swindell down the backstretch, and that's allowed Steve to close. White flag about to wave, 1 lap to go. Craig Kinzer out of turn 2 with Sammy Swindell right in front of him. Down the backstretch for the final time. It's going to be a Kinzer family sweep of the Boot Hill Showdown. Steve won last night. Tonight it's Craig Kinzer headed to victory lane. Steve Kinzer will finish 2nd. Craig Delansky comes home 3rd. Joey Saldana 4th and Cody Dara 5th. Unofficially, your top 10 will look like this. Craig Kinzer getting the win. Steve Kinzer finishing 2nd. Craig Delansky in 3rd. Joey Saldana 4th and Cody Dara 5th. Jason Sides in 6th. Kerry Matson 7th. Donnie Schatz in 8th. Bill Rose 9th. And Lucas Wolf in 10th.
Craig Kinzer, exciting victory over your father and the rest of these top-notch competitors out here. Take me through that feature.
Well, I got a good start. That last lap of the dash kind of helped me there because I got a good start there on the bottom. It was a good place to be. And, I really didn't know where to be. I was hugging the bottom so hard. I hit lap traffic. I don't know why I moved up the middle there, and I'm happy I did because it was carried a lot of speed right through there for a while.
Welcome back. Now let's head out to Belleville with field reporter Mike Kraft.
Well, folks, I want to welcome everybody to Belleville, Kansas, where tonight the World of Outlaws are going to be racing on the high banks of the Belleville High Bank Speedway.
Got one of the original Outlaws here, Doug Wolfgang. Doug, saw you run many race back in the old days when you were one of the big 3, and boy, it was a lot of fun.
It was. I enjoyed that part of my life. I'm 59 now, so I'm an old fart, but It's been about 30 years since I was here, so it's a lot of fun to come back down here.
Did I hear them correctly a while ago? Do you hold the record here for one lap, or did I misunderstand it?
I probably did, but I think at that time we were the first guys here with wings and big 400-inch motors, so whoever got fast time that day would have held it, I'm sure. So it was probably me.
Like I say, do you miss that? I mean, I know it was quite a while back. You're into other things now, but do you wake up in the middle of the night or something sometime and say, boy, I miss that?
Well, I got to where I was okay at driving, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm really fired up to try to be a mechanic for my son now. And to be quite truthful with you, I'm not very proficient at it yet, so I'm trying hard, and he's trying hard to learn how to be a good racer, so we're having a lot of fun at it.
We're talking about Robbie, correct?
Right, yep, Robbie.
And you guys are manufacturing the chassis?
We built the chassis at home in South Dakota, and we build only about 15 a year, so we're a very small shop.
Let me ask you this. I was running this around in my mind the other day. These outlaw wins, man, it's so competitive out there now. Does a lot of it come down to car setup now and not so much driver as it might have been maybe back in the old days?
I think in the old days it was more driver, but you still had to be set up right. Now I don't think the setup is as big a deal like here at Belleville as a darn good motor would be. If you got a good motor that'll pull hard, you're in pretty good shape. And that's about all there is to it. And motors cost money.
Boy, that's the truth. They are not getting any cheaper as time goes on. You've seen quite a change in the world of outlaws over the years, and I know you've always got an opinion on something. Do you think the outlaw circuit, the series, is going the right way? Because, boy, there's just so much money involved in it now.
Well,
I know I put you on the spot there a little bit, but like I say, I know you've usually got an opinion.
There's a ton of money involved in NASCAR and IndyCar also. And this is the premier sprint car series in the country. And it should not be easy to win here. So if it takes money to win, so be it.
That's what you got to go after. Get the sponsors and the money behind you to where you can get out there and do it.
It's just different than when I raced. It's not bad. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just different.
I was going to say, the world changes, and, man, we got to go with it, right?
Exactly right. Yep. I myself, I'm enjoying the heck out of this, although it's totally 180 degrees different than when I raced.
It's got to be frustrating sometimes for you, like you say, you're crew chief on the car too, but it's got to be really frustrating sometimes, like you say, when you miss the setup or things don't go right.
Well, like I said, I have a long way to go to be a good mechanic yet. I'm trying, but I never was one. I was just a driver.
Okay, Doug, man, appreciate you taking some of your time. I know we're kind of in a hold pattern here in the infield while they finish up time trials here for the World of Outlaws at Belleville. Doug, all I can say is many memories, man, many memories.
Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Last feature winner just a week ago, I believe, well, a week and a day, but we got Craig Kinzer here on the infield at Belleville. Craig, going to be quite a bit different track here tonight, I'm pretty sure, from what we had at Dodge City.
Yeah, definitely. It's a high-speed place, and it's carrying a lot of speed around here. That's for sure. It's quite a bit different.
I'm going to say, better make sure and bring your big motor tonight, because, man, it's going to be a lot about horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, all our motors are pretty similar, so definitely put the same one in we had at Dodge City. So, we got a good qualifying, I think, right now. We're sitting second, so hopefully we'll stay second to the end of qualifying, but it definitely helps out knowing we cut a good lap around here qualifying.
If I'm correct, 2 feature wins this year on the World of Outlaws?
3, actually. Dodge City was our 3rd, but we're having a good year. Had a few mishaps here and there that took us out of pretty good runs, but the way we've been running, I'm pretty happy with our year so far.
All I can say is, man, I'm looking forward to it tonight. I've never seen the Outlaws. I've seen 410s out here, but I've never seen the Outlaws. Should be a really fast race. Craig, let's have some fun, man.
Always having fun. Definitely always excited to come here to Belleville. It's only my 2nd time here, and it lived up to. I wish we could get up on the banking a little bit more earlier in the night, but hopefully we'll be up there for feature con.
Maybe the 305s will knock it down for you. We've got Bill Rose here, and he was the one that had the in-car camera out there for the time trial. Bill had a good run, from what I understand, 4th in time.
Yeah, we had a good run here at Belleville. You know, this place is definitely a big old racetrack, and it takes a lot of motor and stuff, and we definitely had good laps.
Would this be one of your favorite tracks? I mean, is this one of the things, man, hammer down?
Yeah, definitely because the speed and stuff is so really cool. But it's, for fan-wise, I'm not really sure it's the greatest because it's going to be a lot of follow leader just because it's so fast. But it's still a really neat place, and the history of the place is so cool.
Any secret to that time? Because, you know, even in hot laps, you looked really quick. I mean, have you run here before, and is there something that you knew about?
Well, I've been here a couple other times, and I just know you got to keep the car where you don't want the car be too loose, and you don't want to bind the car up in the corner. So just kind of let it rotate, and if you get the car to rotate around these corners, because there's not a whole lot of straightaway here, it's actually just a big round racetrack. And if you can get it just to roll without turning your wheel at all, it's definitely usually a pretty decent lap.
Is that going to give you a pretty good starting position there in one of the heats?
Yeah, we should be in the first heat on the inside second row. So if we can get in the top 2, we're in a dash for sure. And then maybe we'll get in the dash on our qualifying time too. If we do that, maybe we'll get a shot to start up front in a feature.
Once again, 4th place timer, Bill Rose. Bill, let's have some fun, man.
I appreciate it. I got to thank FireTexResponse.com and Angle Buildings and stuff, because I mean, without them guys, I don't, you know, it's expensive out here, and they definitely helped me out a lot.
Welcome to the Grassroots Racing Show, Night at the Track.
The greatest sprint car drivers in the world, 4 wide. This is their salute, their way of thanking you for coming out this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, in return, we want you to stand and make some noise. When they come down the front stretch, we want them to hear you over the rumble of the 900 horsepower engine. Oh, High Banks, you wanted the best. You got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. Well, as the field begins to line up side by side, once again, bad news for Chad Kemenaugh. The car would not fire. They are back in the infield. Kemenaugh unable to start the race. Caution lights going out. Green flag the next time by for the start of our 25-lap main event. Sammy Swindell and Craig Delansky in row 1. Craig Kinzer and Joey Saldana in row 2. Steve Kinzer alongside Kerry Madsen in row 3. Donnie Schatz and Bill Rose in row 4. Now Robbie Wolfgang alongside Cody Dara in row 5. Then it'll be Lucas Wolf and Ryan Bunton in row 6. Josh Hodges and Mark Dobmeyer in row 7. Zach Blurton and Brian Herbert in row 8. Tim Kading and Jordan Whitehead in row 9. John Freeman and Jeremy Campbell in row 10. Jason Schrader, Jeff Stassa, and Patrick Stassa. Swindell and Delansky very slow to the stripe. Now the green flag waves and the race is underway. Into turn 1. Sammy Swindell with the lead. Craig Kinzer down low by Delansky for second. Delansky comes right back at him. Delansky and Craig Kinzer racing for second, and now Joey Saldana trying to get by Kinzer for third. 4-car battle at the front of the field. They roll out of turn 4. Sammy Swindell will lead lap number 1. Craig Delansky second, Joey Saldana third, Craig Kinzer fourth, and Kerry Madsen fifth. Now Madsen trying to work his way around the outside of Craig Kinzer, makes that pass. Kerry Madsen now up to fourth and coming after Joey Saldana for third. Madsen low in 3 and 4, trying to slide up in front of Saldana, can't not get that pass made. Craig Kinzer back to the inside of Madsen, down low into turn 1. Craig Kinzer slides up in front of Kerry Madsen, but Madsen has the momentum on the top of the racetrack. Kerry Madsen hanging on to fourth, and now Steve Kinzer coming after Craig Kinzer. Battle for fifth, side by side through turns 3 and 4. Craig Kinzer on the top, Steve Kinzer down low. Traffic already about to come into play for race leader Sammy Swindell. Couple of cars off the pace and headed into the infield on the backstretch. John Freeman the first to go, a lap down to Sammy Swindell. We've got 3 laps down working on lap number 4. Sammy Swindell leads it. Craig Delansky in second. In third, Joey Saldana. Kerry Madsen fourth. Craig Kinzer in fifth. Steve Kinzer runs 6th. Donnie Schatz 7th. Bill Rose 8th. Cody Dara 9th. And Robbie Wolfgang in 10th. Field now stringing out single file around the top side of the racetrack. Sammy Swindell's lead, 3/4 of a second as we work on lap number 6 of 25. John Freeman pulling the 81 into the infield. Sammy Swindell now catching up with the 11S of Patrick Stassa, trying to put the 17th place car a lap down. Sammy Swindell leading it. Craig Delansky second, now 1 full second behind the Big Game Tree Stands number 1. Joey Saldana still third with Kerry Madsen right behind him in fourth and Craig Kinzer in fifth. Now Madsen coming after Saldana once again down low in 3 and 4. Big slide job there. Kerry Madsen will take the spot away from the Great Clips number 9. Kerry Madsen now up into the 3rd position. Craig Kinzer by Joey Saldana. No, can't make the move in traffic out of turn 2. Craig Kinzer and Joey Saldana racing for 4th. Saldana pulls away down the backstretch. 9 laps go in the books. Kerry Madsen dealing with the slower car of Patrick Stassa, puts him a lap down into turn 1. Swindell, meanwhile, working on the 74X of Josh Hodges. Hodges runs in the 15th spot, about to go a lap down. 10 laps complete, 15 laps to go. Sammy Swindell, your leader. Craig Delansky running second. Kerry Madsen in third. Joey Saldana fourth. Craig Kinzer fifth. Steve Kinzer sixth. Donnie Schatz in seventh. In eighth, Bill Rose. Cody Darrah ninth. Robbie Wolfgang 10th. Lucas Wolf 11th. Mark Dobmeyer 12th. In 13th, it's Tim Kading. Ryan Bunton 14th. Josh Hodges 15th, a lap down. Robbie Wolfgang cuts a left rear tire. Wolfgang slowing in turns 1 and 2, cutting a left rear tire. Robbie Wolfgang had been running in the 10th position when the left rear tire let go. So under caution for the 7K of Robbie Wolfgang, who was running in the 10th spot when the left rear tire let go on the Phillips Floors entry. Wolfgang has made his way to the work area where the 2-minute clock has started. He'll have 2 minutes to try to get that left rear tire replaced and get back onto the speedway at the rear of the field. So the cars in the odd-numbered running positions lining up in the outside line. Cars in the even-numbered running positions lining up in the inside line. Again, 11 laps down in this 25-lap main event. Robbie Wolfgang does not return to the speedway, stays in the infield. Up to Sammy Swindell to bring the field back to green flag conditions. Swindell gets on the throttle. We go back to green. Not a good restart for Craig Delansky. Kerry Madsen will sneak by into the 2nd spot, and Joey Saldana will grab 3rd. Now Saldana and Steve Kinzer comes with him. Steve Kinzer up to 4th. Joey Saldana running 5th. Kerry Madsen trying to keep up with race leader Sammy Swindell at the front of the field. Sammy Swindell, Kerry Madsen, Craig Delansky, Steve Kinzer, and Joey Saldana, your top 5. Craig Kinzer running 6th, Donnie Schatz in 7th. Now Schatz to the inside of Craig Kinzer. Can't make the pass. Top 3 pulling away from the rest of the field. Sammy Swindell not extending his lead quite as much on this green flag run. 14 laps down, 11 to go. Donnie Schatz again working to the inside of Craig Kinzer, trying to make the pass for 6th. Can't get it done out of turn 2. Madsen staying right with Sammy Swindell. Caution on the speedway, car slowing on the high side on the backstretch. It's the 6R of Ryan Bunton. Ryan Bunton coming to a stop on the high side entering turn 3. Ryan Bunton comes to a stop on the top of the racetrack in turn 3. Caution flag waves with 15 laps complete and 10 laps to go. Madsen and Swindell down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Remember, Sammy Swindell can accelerate first as the race leader on the double file restarts. He gets on the throttle. We go back to green. Caution flag waving. The leader, Sammy Swindell, accelerated before the orange cone in turns 3 and 4.
One car was early, way before the marker.
Sammy Swindell being set back. And that will give the lead of the race to Kerry Madsen. Kerry Madsen has chosen the high side of the speedway, so Kerry Madsen, your new leader, up on the high side.
Stay yellow then, push the 6R.
Getting word now the 6R, Ryan Bunton went to the work area, and they have completed repairs, so Bunton's set to return to the speedway.
So it's going to be 29-11, 11K.
Lineup is now correct. Kerry Madsen, your new leader. Craig Delansky, second. Sammy Swindell, third. Swindell and Delansky side by side for second as Madsen pulls away. Steve Kinzer down low in 1 and 2, gets by Craig Delansky for the third spot. Steve Kinzer now up to third. This time by 18 laps complete, 7 to go. Kerry Madsen's lead, a second and a half over Sammy Swindell. Madsen riding the high side out of turn 4. Traffic once again for Kerry Madsen, putting the 11S of Patrick Stassa a lap down. 21 complete, 4 laps to go. Kerry Madsen looking for win number 2 on the season and his second career Belleville High Banks victory. Kerry Madsen, Sammy Swindell, Kinzer, Craig Delansky, and Joey Saldana, your top 5. Craig Kinzer in 6th. Mark Dobmeyer now up to 7th. This time by Kerry Madsen, about to look at the white flag, half a mile to go. Madsen to the cushion out of turn 2. Getting by the slower car of Ryan Bunton, now to the inside into turn 3. Slides back up to the cushion. Checkered flag waves. Kerry Madsen wins the Belleville High Banks. Sammy Swindell finishes in the second spot. Coming home third, it'll be Steve Kinzer. Officially, your top 10, Kerry Matson with the win. Sammy Swindell second, Steve Kinzer third, Craig Delansky fourth, and Joey Saldana fifth. Donnie Shaw sixth, Craig Kinzer seventh, Mark Dobmeyer eighth, Bill Rose ninth, and Cody Darrah 10th. Again, that is unofficial. Top finishers headed to the scales in the infield. Minimum weight required, 1,400 pounds with a driver in the car.
Looks like Kerry Madsen took advantage on a miscue by pole setter Sammy Swindell, who jumped a restart with 10 laps to go. This win gives Madsen his second feature of the season and first career at the Belleville High Banks. I don't think Sammy Swindell was happy with the way the race turned out. We'll have to see how he does in the next one at Lakeside. That race is coming up right after the break.
Welcome back. We're at Lakeside Speedway with Mike Kraft for another World of Outlaw race. The competition was fantastic at Dodge City and again at Belleville. And I'm sure Lakeside's going to be more of the same. It's anyone's race, so hold on to your seat and let's get out to the track.
Tonight's winner from Belleville, Kerry Matson. Kerry, I don't know, but I think you and I may have a thing going, because I was there in 2009 when you won the All-Star race, and man, last night it was almost looked like a repeat, only different competitors.
Yeah, that was a awesome night for the Canarian racing team last night, and I always enjoy Belleville. You know, I enjoy where you got to get up on the wall, and the harder you drive it, the more reward you get for it. So it worked out in our favor last night, but tonight we're here in Kansas City, and another great track and great crowd, so we'll see what we can do.
If I remember right, that last time too there in 2009, that you won that night, but I think you lost a rear end and burned a motor, if I remember right.
Yeah, we did. We hurt a rear end and hurt a motor, but Brian Morrison builds our motors this year, and great reliability. So we've got the same motor in, so that's a good sign, and looking forward to tonight.
I guess that was some good experience for you, though, kind of get you ready for last night. But Mano Swindell, he was looking really good, but man, a big mistake. I know you don't want to win it that way, but hey, they all count.
Unfortunately, I've been there and done it, and I know how that feels to be on front row and have something stupid happen. But you know, he's won a lot of races, he's leading, running really good in the points. He's having a great year, so we'll take that gladly.
Is this heat going to bother you? Is this anything at all like the weather you experience in Australia?
Oh, absolutely, but the heat, it just bothers you like it does normally. Once you're in the race car, it's fine.
All right. We got to watch out for this guy. I mean, he was super fast last night at Belleville. If he can repeat that here tonight at Lakeside, Kerry, you're going to be in the winner's circle. Congratulations for last night. Looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, thanks very much, and thanks for doing this.
Here was Sammy Swindell, second place last night at Belleville. Sammy kind of gave one away last night, it looked like.
Well, they took one away, you know, and the day they've decided they probably made the wrong decision. So, you know, I didn't know if there was anything, you know, there wasn't anything I did different. So they changed. So now they changed their mind. So I still don't think I'll get the win that way.
No, I was going to say, you don't get the money, you don't get the win. You know, that was one of the things I was wondering. I thought, man, the experience Sammy's got, he either didn't see the cone or he had dirt in his eye. Tear off was dirty. Something happened. Evidently, they just made a mistake.
No, it was an official. Yeah, so I don't know. The guy that did the video, he looked at it there last night, and he said every start had to be within 3 feet of each other. So if the one was wrong, they were all wrong. So, you know, but what do we do now? You know, it's up to them to make up for it.
Yeah. Well, I was actually shooting some of the video last night. I don't know whose they were looking at, whether it was Mills or mine, but That's what I thought when I looked back on the video. I thought, well, it looked like he started in the same place in the feature that he did for the qualifying race. It looked like the same place.
Yeah, it was. Well, it's hard to say, but I mean, probably within 5 or 6 feet. So if that's what it's going to take, I mean, they've already had races where it's, the other guy's been taken off, and his have been 200 feet different. So I mean, even once we took off down the backstretch, but they just got to be consistent. So it's up to them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Sammy, we got tonight here at Lakeside. I think you've had some good luck here. What do you think? Going to be some tough racing? Going to be kind of like last night, maybe kind of strung out?
Well, you don't know. I mean, the last couple of times we've been pretty close. I mean, 2 or 3 or 4 of us. So it just depends on what the racetrack gives us. But I'm hoping I can just get away. And I think that was maybe the problem last night. They didn't want to let that happen either. So, but we'll try to get this big game tree stands car up there again. I mean, we're usually up there every night that we get a chance on the draw or the qualifying number. So I don't see why it'd be any different tonight.
Good qualifying may be the key tonight. Sammy, have some fun tonight, buddy. We'll be looking forward to it. I know you'll be up front.
Yep, thanks.
I think we're 60 points out of the lead, but we just have to get a better package with our car to even have a shot. But for feeling like we've had a terrible year, we're actually pretty close, so we just got to get better.
Just no panic. Just go to another race, do your thing, and see what plays out.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, with the Outlaws, you race so much, you don't have time to really think about it, but try and get your car better. So hopefully we can get our car better.
Yeah. One of the guys we need to watch out for here tonight, Joey Saldana. Thank you, Joey.
All right, thanks.
Got Brian Brown here. Brian, last time you and Steve Kinzer had a heck of a run here. You just kind of chose the wrong lane there late in the race. I know you're going to have to wait and see what the track's doing, but I bet that'll be playing on your mind tonight if you're up front.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this one, ever since the last one ended last year. So we got a really good team, Casey's General Store, FVP, Searsboro Telephone Company, Impact Signs, Awnings and Wraps, Dittsfield Transfer, Champion Oil, Maxim, Smiley's, Weld Wheels, everybody that helps on this team to honor the drive for them. And we got a good opportunity tonight. Got a brand new Charlie Garrett motor in here. Hopefully it'll run good like we think it will, and I think we got a shot to win it. We just be nothing better to win your first outlet race in front of the hometown crowd, but just got to qualify good first and run good in the heat. It's just a process. It's not just I'm gonna go out and win the A. You got to make it work, and hopefully we'll have a good night.
I was going to say, especially on this track here, it seems like qualifying is just so important. Man, you got to be up in the front there somewhere.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, you need to be about somewhere around the 6th or 7th range is really where you need to be, and that's what we're going to try to do, and we're just going to keep plugging away at it. And like I said, the guys, Chad Morgan, Mark Clemens, Kecky, Chad Eli, Greg, everybody works really hard on this team and gives me good equipment and good built race cars. We just got to go out and make it happen tonight.
Brian Brown, hometown guy. I know he's going to pull it out this time. Way to go, Brian.
Thank you, guys.
Got Jason Schrader from Spring Hill, Kansas. Jason, saw you up at Belleville last night. Come down here, run at Lakeside tonight. You like running at Lakeside?
Yeah, we've only done it once. That was last year at the World of Outlaws show, and basically it's just a close track that we can come out and get a little experience and have a little fun.
It's got to be fun running with these guys, plus somewhat educational too, I'm sure, because, man, I imagine you just walk around the pits here and probably pick some stuff up.
Yeah, more educational because you don't have a chance, and we don't really race all that much to really feel real comfortable in the car, so just kind of try to stay out of everybody's way and go home with a little bit of money, hopefully.
I was going to say, I don't know how many cars there are tonight, but 900 to start, is that right?
800 to start, and then they give you a little bit of contingency stuff to show up. But, yeah, it's more the novelty of it.
And to say, hey, I run with the Outlaws, man.
That's right, yeah. And if they all bow out, maybe we'll run in the top 20. Who knows?
Now, you run in the 360 because I think that's what you run with the NCRA, right?
Yep. It's a 360, and it's the same motor we've had for 6 years, and it keeps going, so we keep driving it.
Well, like you say, it's the experience, and just out there having some fun, and you get to make a little money at it at the same time. So, Jason, have some fun.
Back to side-by-side formation now as the pace truck will exit on the back straightaway, and we will see the green flag for our main event the next time by. Craig Kinzer on the pole in the 11K, the 21 of Brian Brown on the outside of row 1, then the 4 of Cody Dara, and the 29 of Kerry Madsen in row 2, the 1 of Sammy Swindell, the 83 of Tim Kading in row 3, 7 Craig Delansky, and the 9 of Joey Saldana in row 4, 33 Danny Lasowski, 5W Lucas Wolf in row 5, then Bill Rose and Steve Kinzer in row 6, Donnie Schatz and Josh Hodges in row 7, Jeremy Campbell and Patrick Stassa in row 8, John Freeman and Jordan Whitehead in row 9, Chad Kemenaugh and Jeff Stassa in row 10, and Jason Schrader at the back of the field. Green flag. Down the front straightaway into turn 1. Brian Brown up high, Cody Dara down low, Craig Kinzer in the middle, Brian Brown with the lead out of turn 2. Sammy Swindell around the outside of Cody Dara, nicely squeezing between Dara and the wall. Swindell up to third and now coming after so Brian Brown into the wall. Brian Brown hits the wall in turns 3 and 4. Everybody trying to avoid him. Steve Kinzer cannot avoid him. Kinzer collects Patrick Stassa, and there are 3 cars involved in turns 3 and 4, and it started when leader Brian Brown caught the wall entering turn 3. Under caution, Brian Brown looking for his first career World of Outlaws main event win, got the jump, took the lead, but as he went into turn 3, the car got into the wall, spun to a stop. Nearly everyone was able to avoid him, but point leader Steve Kinzer could not take evasive action quickly enough, got into Brian Brown. That in turn collected the 11S of Patrick Stassa. Steve Kinzer headed to the work area in the Bass Pro Shops number 11. The wrecker about to hook up to Brian Brown's number 21, and the push truck moving in behind the 11S of Patrick Stassa. Correction now, push truck moving in behind Brian Brown's car, not the wrecker. Looks like they'll try to refire that car. In the meantime, Kerry Madsen now will move to the outside of row 1 in the Canaric Racing. Report over the World of Outlaws radio system, too much damage for Brian Brown to continue. They have taken the car to the trailer. Brian Brown has taken his car to the trailer. The 11S of Patrick Stassa has gone to the trailer as well. And Steve Kinzer's 2-minute clock has expired. He will not make it back out as well. We'll go green out of turn 4 the next time by. Craig Kinzer and Kerry Madsen now in row 1. Cody Dara and Tim Kading in row 2. Sammy Swindell and Joey Saldana in row 3. Then Craig Delansky and Lucas Wolf in row 4. And this will shuffle up the World of Outlaw point standings, provided we get at least 1 lap in the books before another caution flag would wave. Green flag. Into turn 1, Craig Kinzer jumping out to the lead. Battle for second. Sammy Swindell in the middle. Kerry Madsen on the top. Madsen has the second spot. Craig Delansky to the inside of Cody Dara to take fourth. Now Delansky coming after Swindell. Swindell to the inside of Madsen now. 4-car battle for second. Out of turn 4 as Craig Kinzer pulls away. Sammy Swindell slides up in front of Kerry Madsen. Swindell now up to second in the big game tree stands number 1. Craig Delansky to the inside of Madsen now. Delansky takes the third spot as they rumble down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Madsen up on the cushion. Cody Dara working down low. Dara on the bottom of the racetrack gets by Madsen, and Cody Dara now in 4th. Madsen right back to the high side in turns 1 and 2. Craig Kinzer out in front of the field. Madsen and Dara side by side down the backstretch. Madsen reclaims the 4th spot. Dara right back down to the bottom in 3 and 4. Going to try to slide up in front of Kerry Madsen. Madsen and Dara side by side for 4th down the front straightaway. Craig Kinzer already a 2.5-second lead. Craig Kinzer dominated the dash. He is now doing the same early on in this main event. Craig Kinzer leading it. Sammy Swindell second. Craig Delansky third. Kerry Madsen fourth. Cody Dara fifth. Tim Kading sixth. Danny Lasowski seventh. Joey Saldana eighth. Donnie Schatz ninth. And Lucas Wolf in 10th. 3 wide down the back straightaway, racing for the 5th spot. Give it to Danny Lasowski. He gets by both Tim Kading and Cody Dara. Dara slides back in front of him, and Kading's going to drive back around Lasowski on the top in 3 and 4. Lasowski and Kading now side by side for 6th. Kading to the outside in turns 1 and 2, drives by Cody Dara. Tim Kading now into the top 5. All Craig Kinzer in front of the field with 6 laps complete. His lead over Sammy Swindell, 2.3 seconds. Then another 2 seconds back to 3rd place running Craig Delansky. The best battle on the speedway. Oh, problems. Donnie Schatz with a fire under the hood of the 15. And the red flag will wave. Red flag on the speedway. Donnie Schatz quickly climbing out of the STP 15. Red flag conditions on the speedway. Donnie Schatz with a fire under the hood of the STP 15. STP 15. Fortunately, Donnie Schatz able to climb out and walk away. Donnie Schatz had been running in the 10th position when the flames erupted under the hood. Donnie Schatz now the outside line. So Craig Kinzer, the race leader, on the outside of row 1. Sammy Swindell running 2nd on the inside of the front row. Then it's the 7 of Craig Delansky outside of row 2 running 3rd. The 29 of Kerry Madsen on the inside of row 2 running 4th. 6 laps complete, still 24 laps to go in this World of Outlaws main event. Pace truck headed to the infield. We're set to go back to green. Craig Kinzer back on the throttle. Sammy Swindell right with him. Swindell takes the lead down the front straightaway. Sammy Swindell got by Craig Kinzer on the front stretch to grab the lead. Cody Dara up to challenge Craig Kinzer for 2nd. Kinzer fends off that challenge. Sammy Swindell stayed right with Craig Kinzer when Kinzer accelerated and had enough to take the lead. Now Cody Dara up to challenge Kinzer for 2nd. Sammy Swindell leads lap number 7. Craig Kinzer now starting his pursuit of Sammy Swindell as the two of them pull away from the rest of the field. Chad Kemenaugh on the move. Kemenaugh started 19th. He is up to 5th. And now to the inside of Kerry Madsen. Kemenaugh 4th from 19th and coming after 3rd place running Cody Dara. Chad Kemenaugh 19th up to 4th in the first 8 laps. Kemenaugh running the very bottom of the racetrack. Donnie Schatz forcing his way back forward as well. Schatz already back into the top 10. Meanwhile, Craig Kinzer catching up with leader Sammy Swindell. This time by 10 laps complete, 20 laps to go. Donnie Schatz on the move to the inside of Joey Saldana, battling for the 10th spot. Schatz had 10th. Saldana was able to get back by him. Craig Kinzer has caught leader Sammy Swindell now. Down the front straightaway, they roll into turn 1. Both go to the high side now. Kinzer down low in 1 and 2. Battle for the lead. Craig Kinzer back in front of Sammy Swindell. Swindell and Kinzer side by side into turn 3. Slide job by Craig Kinzer. Sammy Swindell's got the momentum up on the top. They'll stay side by side. Sammy Swindell will lead as they cross the stripe. And Cody Dara is right there with the lead duo. Top 3 into turns 1 and 2, racing for the lead. Kerry Madsen and Lucas Wolf have gotten back by Chad Kemenaugh. Kemenaugh has fallen back to 6th. Cody Dara now on the move, closing in on Craig Kinzer in the race for 2nd. 13 laps down, we approach the halfway point, and we also approach slower traffic for the race leaders. Sammy Swindell putting Jordan Whitehead a lap down now, moving in on the 91 of Jeff Stassa. Swindell, Craig Kinzer, Cody Dara, Lucas Wolf, Chad Kemenaugh, your top 5 with 14 laps in the books, halfway next time by. Craig Kinzer once again to the inside of Sammy Swindell out of turn 4, racing for the lead, can't make the pass. Down low again in 1 and 2. Kinzer and Swindell fighting for the top spot. Craig Kinzer low in turn 4, pulls even with Sammy Swindell, can't make the pass. Swindell has too much momentum on the high side. Craig Kinzer may be a little faster in 1 and 2. Sammy Swindell has been having the momentum working his way on the top in 3 and 4. Swindell a little lower on the groove in 3 and 4. Craig Kinzer to his inside. 17 laps down, 13 to go. The top 2 a straightaway in front of third place running Cody Dara. Here comes Kinzer again to the inside of Swindell, but Swindell just has too much momentum. Lightning flashing in the sky here at the Lakeside Speedway as we work on lap number 19 of 30. Sammy Swindell and Craig Kinzer 1 and 2. Cody Dara 3rd, Lucas Wolf 4th, Kerry Madsen 5th, Chad Kemenoff 6th, Danny Lasowski 7th, Craig Delansky 8th, Tim Kading 9th, and Donnie Schatz 10th, Joey Saldana 11th, Bill Rose 12th, Josh Hodges 13th. Top 2 separated by 4 car lengths down the back straightaway as they head toward traffic. We've got less than 10 laps to go. Craig Kinzer able to stay with Sammy Swindell, and now they approach the 11 of Steve Kinzer, trying to put Steve Kinzer another lap down. Remember, Steve Kinzer involved in the opening lap accident, came back onto the speedway 6 laps down during the red flag for Donnie Schatz. The top 2, 4 seconds in front of third place running Cody Dara. Sammy Swindell just following Steve Kinzer's tire tracks through turns 1 and 2. We've got rubber down at both ends of the racetrack now. Sammy Swindell around the outside of Steve Kinzer to put Kinzer a lap down. Steve Kinzer moves over and allows Sammy Swindell and Craig Kinzer to move by. 6 laps to go. Lightning all over the sky here at the Lakeside Speedway. More traffic in front of leader Sammy Swindell with 5 laps to go. Craig Kinzer once again reeling in Sammy Swindell. Swindell a little loose out of turn 4, gathers it back in. Swindell having trouble dealing with the slower car of Josh Hodges. Swindell moves to the inside, puts Hodges a lap down. This time by 3 laps to go. Craig Kinzer easily to the inside of Hodges, maintaining his pursuit of race leader Sammy Swindell. Sammy Swindell, Craig Kinzer, Cody Dara, Lucas Wolf, and Kerry Madsen, your top 5. This time by 2 laps to go. Craig Kinzer to the inside of Swindell, can't make the move. Heavy traffic now in front of the leaders. White flag about to wave at the Lakeside Speedway. Sammy Swindell a half a mile away from win number 6 on the season. Craig Kinzer right behind him. If Kinzer's going to make anything happen, it has to be now. Back straightaway for the final time. Into turns 3 and 4. Sammy Swindell, Craig Kinzer out of turn 4. Kinzer to the inside of Swindell down the front straightaway, makes it close, but Sammy Swindell hangs on for the win. Craig Kinzer 2nd, Cody Dara in 3rd, Lucas Wolf in 4th, and in 5th, it'll be Kerry Madsen. Craig Kinzer Kinzer made it close on the last lap. Final margin of victory, 21/100ths of a second. Unofficially, your top 10. Sammy Swindell getting the win. Craig Kinzer finishing second. Cody Dara in third. Lucas Wolf fourth. And Kerry Madsen fifth. Chad Kemenaugh sixth. Danny Lasonsky seventh. Craig Delansky eighth. Tim Kading ninth. And Donnie Schatz 10th. Victory Lane as not only your race winner, but the new World of Outlaws point leader. As the thunder rumbles from the sky at the Lakeside Speedway, Sammy about to climb out of the big game tree stands number 1. 6th win of the year, new World of Outlaws point leader unofficially. Sean Miller will be down there to get a word with your World of Outlaws main event winner.
Ready? Sammy Swindell, winner tonight. Tell me about that restart where you just rocketed into the lead there.
Yeah, well, I was trying to make sure I knew where I needed to go, and I got a try there on both of them there to see, and I felt like the bottom was going to be better, and I thought Craig was going to take it at first, but then at the last minute I see he changed his mind, so it worked out just perfect for this whole big game tree stands team. Yeah, we should have been 2 in a row. I mean, we had an official tell one of my guys there tonight that they thought they made a mistake last night. So, this car is just really rolling good. Guys are doing a good job, and this new Al Parker motor is just pretty awesome. That it can go from 0 to whatever and really quick. So, yeah, we had the car really dialed in. Just didn't want to slip up there at the end, and if I felt like Craig was maybe back there, but I was just saving my tires the whole race and make sure I had something to run at the end. And it just worked out. I knew if he was going to have to pass me, he was going to have to go around, and it was going to be difficult to do that. So these guys just gave us a great car. It was a good night again for us. You never know what you're going to get sometimes when you get out here, but we're doing the best we can with what we got.
Your winner, Sammy Swindell. Runner-up, Craig Kinzer. Craig, talk about that restart where Sammy got you and then chasing him down there at the end.
Yeah, just bad choice on the restart. Got to hand it to Sammy. He's tough to pass when he gets out front. And I was hounding him pretty good, pushed him as hard as I could, and my right rear shows it. I abused it, trying to stay with him and get around him. I had a couple. Didn't leave me any opportunity really, but he moved down when he needed to. It's just a tough one. It's a tough one to eat.
Runner-up, Craig Kinzer. Cody. Third place, Cody Dare. We'll try to get you before the lightning strikes here. Yeah. Talk about that race out here tonight and another podium finish for you at this track.
Yeah, it's second time I've been here, and it's awesome to be back. Another third. Kind of wish we were a little bit better than third, but it's a great turnout every year with the fans, and glad they got a good show tonight. It's hard for this track. It got rubber, but rainstorm, and I thought I was focused for until halfway when we get into 3 and see the lightning show off at 3 and 4. It's pretty amazing. But hats off to my guys. They've been working hard all year, and I kind of screwed up the first couple laps of that race and didn't get in the rubber in time, and then we had a pretty good restart which got us back in contention. But it's hard to race in the rubber, but I think we definitely had a little bit of a chance if we got lap traffic a little bit better. But glad to be out here on the front stretch again. Thanks everybody for coming out.
Third place, Cody Dare. Back to you, Johnny.
Thank you very much, Sean Miller. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your official finish. Sammy Swindell, the winner in car number 1, and he will take the World of Outlaws point lead. Finishing second, the 11K of Craig Kinzer. In third, the number 4 of Cody Dara. In fourth, the 5W of Lucas Wolf. And in fifth, the 29 of Kerry Madsen.
Congratulations to Sammy Swindell for the win at Lakeside Speedway. It looks like he wasn't going to let another one get away from him as he rocketed by leader Craig Kinzer on a restart early and then held on among all of the racing action at Lakeside Speedway. You could see the lightning in the background, but they got the racing program in. Kinzer maintained a close second the rest of the race, but wasn't able to get by Slammin' Sammy. World of Outlaw Racing is always exciting. I hope you enjoy the greatest show on dirt from Dodge City, Belleville, and Lakeside. Thanks for watching. For my co-host Roger Thompson, I'm Doug Thompson. Grassroots Racing Show Night at the Track. See you next week.